Warning. The language used on The Real Rush may be offensive to some viewers.
Happy fucking 420, y'all!
In honor and in memory of the hands down greatest pro wrestling ring announcer of all the time, the Fink, Mr. Howard Finkel. I could think of only one way to start off this episode of The Real Rush here, ladies and gents. Check it out. The following contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is for the World Wrestling Federation Real Rush Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Bang your head to the opening riff.
Shut up and sit down.
Welcome to the cinema.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome to episode 82 of The Real Rush right here on YouTube. I am your boy J-Dub, and not only is episode 82 right here of The Real Rush right here on YouTube special because it's the 82nd episode. 82 just happens to be the year that your boy was born into this earth. But this episode is also this year's epic as fuck always Real Rush 420 spectacular magnanimous special up in this motherfucker, man. And this is an especially special episode for those of us that live here in the great state / Commonwealth of Virginia, as just a few days ago a bill was signed into law that decriminalizes possession of marijuana up to an ounce, which is a step in the right direction towards legalization. I didn't even think that we would get this far anytime within my lifetime, let alone this damn soon. So, well done to the state of Virginia. That's something to ring in this holiday that's coming Monday with. Now, unfortunately, this law doesn't go into effect until July 1st, so we won't be able to, be quite that open about it coming this Monday for the holiday. But I got a sneaking suspicion that since this joint goes into effect on July 1st, that all of a sudden on July 2nd, or maybe like the night of July 1st, all the people who swore up and down this whole time, like, and I don't smoke weed, but they really be chiefing on the down low and shit. Yeah, they're just gonna be coming out of the woodwork like, yeah, now that it's like somewhat legal to talk about, I guess it's cool. We could bring it more up to the open now. Psh, fucking posers. Not waiting that long. I don't want to hear that bullshit. Anywho, because I know that everybody's got their best buds broken up on their trays, ready to roll up and light up, or you got your edibles ready to go to be eaten, or you got the oils, or whatever your flavor, or whatever your method of transportation of the THC is into your body, I know that you're raring to go. So let's go ahead and get on down to the brass tacks of what 7 select movies I have curated and picked out to review for our 420 special of The Real Rush right here on YouTube. So let's get on down to the brass tacks, what I have for you on this ticket. And the movie that I'm going to start off here with is, as with every episode, not only an unseen movie, but in this instance, not just a Thursday lockdown, previously unseen movie, but this joint is actually dubbed as an early as fuck Thursday morning lockdown movie here on The Real Rush. And why? Well, it hit your boy. As we transition, as it actually hit midnight going from Wednesday into Thursday, it hit your boy. Well, the only reason that we were waiting until Thursday night to watch any new movies was because before, we all went on the lockdown here, that was the earliest that any theater would show any new releases. The earliest that I've ever seen any new release drop at a theater on a Thursday was 4 p.m. at the very, very earliest. So your boy thought to himself, since we're no longer, under those kind of time constraints, why wait until Thursday evening to get our new movie in? Why can't we do it the second that it becomes Thursday here in Eastern Time Zone? So that's exactly what the hell we did. We went the hell on to Amazon Prime Video and found this joint that we're going to kick things off here with. The name of this movie here is called Woodshock. Boy found this 99-cent rental fee on Prime Video. So maybe it's because of the holiday. They're not just gonna out and say, here's our 420 special, but the people with the right kind of mind and the right kind of eyes, we know what's really going down there. So well done there, Amazon Prime Video. Anywho, so Woodshock, what's this shit all about? I know that this was supposed to be on the season 1 ticket somewhere of The Real Rush. I do remember briefly seeing it on the coming soon section of Angelica's website many years ago, but it was only on there for a brief period, and obviously we never got to see it in the theaters. Anytime that I saw it afterwards was a DVD copy somewhere at some random Walmart, which I would have gotten, but your boy will only go DVD if there's no other higher quality medium available. And I knew there was a Blu-ray of this joint floating around there somewhere. Hence, your boy did not see it until this past Thursday. And that kind of worked in our favor, like the last couple of previously unseen movies have worked. So that way we have something previously unseen to bring to y'all that I don't think a lot of people know about here right now on The Real Rush 420 Special. Once again, what is Woodshock all about? Woodshock stars Kirsten Dunst as a woman who works in actually a Colorado weed dispensary, and she's grieving over the loss of her mother. Now, as she goes through this period of the grieving process, she starts experimenting with this incredibly potent, mind-altering, drug that comes in this oil form, y'all. You take the oil and you put it in the bag with weed, and then you let the weed soak it up, and then you roll the joint up with it, and you puff away, and then it takes you on this fucking crazy ass trip, which is what she wants to go for. However, this joint is so potent that nobody knows the outcome of what will happen to someone who smokes it. Not even Kirsten Dunst's character, who after ingesting such a thing, just waking up whenever, wherever, with no recollection as to what the fuck has just happened. So this movie sounds like it's gonna be like a trip and a half, right? Right? Well, alright, so let's get on down to the brass tacks of how Woodshock went down. So yes, I did get the fact that, it's structured around how to properly deal with grief and the loss of a loved one and whatnot. I did get that much. And to be quite honest with you, those dark moments of the movie, those are pulled off quite well. The visuals of the movie also pulled off quite well as well. There are two legit, just straight edge of your seat, what the fuck moments that pop out in this movie. However, and this is a big ass however, y'all, I'm not even close to 100% sure where the movie overall was trying to go with its plot, or where it was trying to really land, find a proper place to land or whatever after it had taken off and taken a flight, just going all over the place. But aside from the two what the fuck moments and the pretty good visuals, aside from that, this was a completely overall just otherwise 100% what the fuck did I just watch kind of movie here in general. This was directed by Kate and Lauren Molevy, who are the fashion designers of Rodarte. So I'm not sure exactly where I was going with that. They're first time filmmakers, so I mean, definitely gonna give them some credit for effort there. But overall, I'm not quite sure where this movie was going. And usually when it comes to a movie like that, I gotta let it digest for a good day or so before I had that aha. So that's where the movie was going, by the time that the credits start roll. But here we are, more than 48 hours later after seeing the joint, and it's still not clicking. So maybe this movie requires a second viewing. I'll have to give that a shot at some point down the road, but first time viewing overall, ladies and gents, I have to give this not such a hot review, except for, like I said, the two legit what the fuck moments that stood out in it. Now, if anybody else has seen this movie and maybe be able to help your boy properly understand, maybe there's something that I missed or whatnot, I am willing to give this a second viewing. Would I recommend this as a straight up 420 selection? Like I said, many others out there may have gotten a different message from this movie. I did watch this quite resonated. That did not help me try to figure out this movie. Now, different strokes for different folks, different strains for different brains. I just made that shit up on the spot, y'all. So maybe somebody else watched this under like a different type of sativa or a type of indica or something and got the proper message that this movie was trying to send out, but your boy was not getting it. So while I am recommending this as a 420 selection, I am going to move forward with saying that not necessarily watch it at your own risk, but just don't get your expectations too high about Woodshock. And if you, once again, if you got some proper, if you got the proper message from this movie, maybe speak out, type in the comment box below, help your boy understand, and when it comes Monday and we both in the right state of mind, we'll converse on this together. But Woodshock, check it out as a 420 selection, y'all, and let your boy know what you thought about it. Moving right along, what is next up on this episode's Real Rush Ticket? Of course, we're going to have our throwback movies that we're going to talk about here. And the first one that I want to bring up here is, again, one of my favorites. Not just one of my favorites, but it's very, very highly proper for the 420 holiday. This joint is called Inherent Vice. This is based off of the novel by Thomas Pynchon, and this is directed and written for the screen by my boy Paul Thomas Anderson. Inherent Vice follows stoner private eye Larry Doc Sportello, played by Joaquin Phoenix, after his ex-girlfriend comes to visit him with some details involving a scheme that is involving her current boyfriend, his wife, and her boyfriend. And from there, it just goes down the proverbial rabbit hole, leading Doc Sportello down the proverbial rabbit hole, y'all. I fucking love this movie. This is my second favorite P.T. Anderson movie of all time, behind Boogie Nights. Boogie Nights is a tough one to beat, y'all. We'll probably be reviewing that at some point. But this movie got us, like with any P.T. Anderson movie, has a phenomenal cast. In addition to Joaquin Phoenix, you have Josh Brolin, Owen Wilson, Catherine Waterston, what's up, baby? Reese Witherspoon, Benicio del Toro, Jenna Malone, what's up, girl? Maya Rudolph, Martin Short, just to name a few. The whole movie, beginning to end, I have to say, it's like a drug trip all of its own. It's got the takeoff, if you don't mind. I gotta read my notes here because I did have to write this shit down. It's got the takeoff, what the fuck is that? Oh, the peak and the come down of a good high. It's even got some of the fear-inducing parts of maybe not necessarily a good high, but of a high nonetheless. Eric Roberts in this for a brief scene, but still the brief scene that he's in this for is a scene stealer all its own. Much with any P.T. Anderson movie, you gotta keep your ears wide the hell open, y'all. The dialogue is sharp and quick, but outrageously funny. And much like any P.T. Anderson movie, it's very dialogue driven. That's like P.T. Anderson's MO. So once again, you gotta keep your ears open, or else you will miss some shit. I just watched this for the third time ever just the other night, and I'm still, much like Natural Born Killers, like I mentioned a couple weeks ago, still noticing things that I had not seen in this movie before. Maybe that's because I'm a little stoned every time I watch this movie. Maybe, maybe not. I didn't even remember how this movie ended until I watched it for the third time. And I watched it wholly both times before that, but like I said, those are usually under special sesh circumstances. Hence why I'm recommending this as a damn good 420 movie. It's perfect detective noir from like the 30s and 40s meets 70s detective with comedic and some quite serious elements as well. Once again, another one of P.T. Anderson's directorial styles, for lack of a better term there. And the fact that this has the look, film-wise, cinematography-wise, of something that was actually filmed in the year that this movie takes place, 1970, makes it all the better. Not a lot of people have heard about this one. This remains one of P.T. Anderson's lesser-known films. Not quite sure why. This should be high, pun totally intended, on your radar if you have not seen Inherent Vice. Inherent Vice, y'all. Find it where you can. Check it out. Highly recommend it. Enjoy it for your 420 holiday, y'all. Moving right along on this episode's Real Rush Ticket. Ooh. So we going from P.T. Anderson over to our boy Hunter S. Thompson. Also perfect for the 420 holiday. Now we going to kick off this Hunter S. Thompson section with classic, now 40 years old, Where the Buffalo Roam. This stars Bill Murray as Hunter S. Thompson and Peter Boyle as his attorney, named Carl Laszlo in this film. And this follows Hunter as he recollects not only 1968 and watching his attorney being quite ambitious at the time, but then following along, progressing through the timeline to his coverage of not only the 1972 Super Bowl, but also the 1972 presidential election, presidential campaign as well. Now, of course, with this being reviewed right here, right now, we're going to get to Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas here in just a second. This one is definitely the more coherent of the two, and they do actually share a couple of similar scenes, albeit different characters, different actors, obviously. There's about an 18-year difference between movies here. Excuse me. I found this movie. Now, first off, this movie, great. It's fantastic. Don't miss it. I want to share a little bit of a personal experience about this one, since we're speaking on 420 experiences here. I found this movie playing on premium cable one night by accident when I just happened to be in the throes of one hell of a harsh vodka fucking come down. Was I smoking or not at the time? I don't remember, but this helped me come down all the more with the greater of ease, I guess you could say. Now, watching this, I've seen it quite a few times since that one night. I found this DVD for how much? $6 up at McKay's Books a couple years ago, and I watched this again the other night just to refresh myself, and I watched it with a clear head. Now, given that this movie took place almost in a span of like 50 years ago, almost 50 years ago, and things have changed since then, but then again, the more things have changed, this movie has proven the more the things stay the same as well. And this movie just reminded us, or at least it reminded me, why we need Hunter S. Thompson. We miss you, Gonzo, like fucking crazy. We need Hunter S. Thompson even more now during the Trump era than possibly ever before. I couldn't even imagine the words that this man would have had to say about the current political climate. But that all aside, Where the Buffalo Roam, another hidden gem in my honest opinion. Find it where you can. Pop it in. Coming this Monday, 4/20, y'all, and enjoy yourselves. So, of course, moving right along, you know what's coming up next here on this episode's Real Rush Ticket. It's going to be Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I know, I'm holding it in the virtuosity case because I don't know where the hell the case for my Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas DVD is. Chances are you can't see it with the lighting and all that. Chances are that my Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas DVD case is around here somewhere, and chances are that last time I saw it, I was using it to break up weed on so I could roll a fatty and watch Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, yet I digress. So Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas is Terry Gilliam's vision of the Hunter S. Thompson novel. And this is more based on his coverage of the Met 400, albeit he ends up going on with his attorney in this movie, just called Dr. Gonzo and played by Benicio del Toro, ends up just going on a drug-fueled excursion over 3 days in Las Vegas instead. In this movie, Hunter S. Thompson, aka Raoul Duke, is played by Johnny Depp. This is way more by leaps and bounds, way more chaotic, way more frenetic than its counterpart, Where the Buffalo Roam, especially visually, and like Inherent Vice, this is like a drug with the ups and the downs. And the downs, I want to say there are a couple harsh ones in this movie if you're not prepared for them. And much like Inherent Vice and like Natural Born Killers, I'm still noticing new shit in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, even though I've seen this one a million times. This is definitely on my list of all-time favorite movies. The soundtrack to this movie, I fucking love it. I love the way that Terry Gilliam filmed this movie, just visually, and just the way that I picked up that you really don't even need to be high to watch this movie. The way that things are flowing on screen could just well enough get you high just on its own. Here goes another personal experience. I saw this movie for the first time somewhere in between 2005 and 2007. The exact date remains unknown, y'all. I don't know when the hell I saw this movie, to be completely honest with you. And that, I do remember this. I saw this movie not only a little toked up, but I was rolling my balls off on ecstasy at the time. And this movie fucking spoke to me. This would, lo and behold, end up influencing my journalistic skills from my MySpace blog writing to even being on camera here with y'all today. Even though I'm a lot more coherent, I feel like, than I was about 10 years ago, but yet I digress. So that was the first time that I watched this movie. This movie would go on to influence my time, or influence my life from that time until I gave up the drink in early 2012. Now, when I watched this movie the second time, this time I do vividly remember, because I watched it once again rolling my balls off on X. However, this time, the X that I got happened to be cut with mescaline. And that's something, see, I didn't know that going into the fucking trip. Had I known that going into the trip, I might have had a little bit of a better time, but I didn't know what was in the motherfucker until it, just like Raoul Duke says in this movie, I didn't know it until it hit me like ZANG. And that wasn't a good ZANG, y'all. That was not a good ZANG. But I do remember this movie being the one that during that harsh couple of hours long period being the one to keep me fucking somewhat grounded. I think I do recall watching this at least twice in a row just to keep me as mellow as possible. My best friend at the time, and still to this day actually, ended up calling me when I was coming down the next morning because I was still up from the night before. He ended up calling me at like 10:30 or something, talking about what you doing. I was like, motherfucker, I'm still up from last night. I'm still feeling it from last night. What are you doing? He's like, man, I'm chilling. I'm thinking about getting the grill going. You want to come over? So he came, picked me up, and just like Thompson / Duke in this movie, what did I do? I grabbed about 5 packs of cigarettes, and I grabbed the fucking quart or gallon or whatever it was of Aristocrat vodka that I was drinking at the time, and he came pick me up. We bounced out the door. And because of that, because I don't know if anybody's ever, dabbled in, the X before, but the day after, and there's I don't know if anybody's ever heard the term Suicide Tuesday. It's because the come down from something is so hard that it makes people want to fucking do that shit again. And in order to keep from completely coming down, they gotta keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it. Now I'm not one to shy away from this. I've always stated that if you're going to try any type of hardcore drug at least once, and I'm not counting weed is not even a drug, let alone a hardcore drug, alright? But if you're gonna try anything at least once, I've always recommended that it be ecstasy, because not only does it make it feel like the damn thing sounds, but it helped me with my mindset to get me to where the hell I am these days. Now, mind you, I haven't tried that shit I haven't done it in at least 10 years, since, the whole epilepsy thing, and neurologist said that, yeah, that's probably something you should shy away from, so haven't touched it since. That is the one thing, if ever given the motherfucking one more chance to do it, I would choose that over alcohol any motherfucking day. Yet I digress. So, when you're coming down from such a thing as X, anything that you do the next day will somewhat re-spark the feeling of it. It can be anything from smoking a cigarette to smoking a joint to taking a shot of something. So what did I do? I fucking went on the next day drinking hard, smoking cigarettes hard, until my boy brought me home later on the next night. I remember coming back here to the rush chamber, cutting on the lava lamp, and just in a dark room, and Hunter S. Thompson-esque all the way. And that is why it probably influenced my next couple years after that. Yet I digress, y'all. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas still to this day has more of a cult following than it does any type of good review following, for lack of a better term. It didn't get the best reviews when it came out, and I don't even think it really got marketed properly when it came out. But then again, how do you market such a movie like this, quote unquote, properly? But it is a must see. It's one of Johnny Depp's finest, one of Benicio del Toro's finest, one of Terry Gilliam's finest. You have a shit ton of cameos in it. Tobey Maguire, Ellen Barkin, Christopher Maloney pops up in it. Flea pops up in it, just to name a few. Lyle Lovett. Even Hunter S. Thompson, keep your eyes open for him. He pops up in it for a brief second. I fucking love this movie, y'all. I don't think that you necessarily have to be on anything to fully get this movie, though it would most certainly enhance it. I'm not going to shy away from that point. And I think that's where a little bit of the misnomer comes in. A lot of people saw the preview for this movie and said, well, that must be something that you have to be on drugs to get. Now, I know I kind of just crossed myself over there because I said that I was on X the first time that I saw it. I think that if I was still, under a clear head the first time that I saw this movie, that it still would have just clicked with me just as hardcore. Or maybe not as hardcore, but it still would have clicked with me and I still would have fallen in love with this movie, minus it. But watching it the first time, one X and it made it all the better. So, find it where you can. I think you're going to enjoy it nonetheless. But, nevertheless, at the same token, come this Monday, if you got the right kind of gear and you want to watch this with the right kind of eyes, by all means, don't shy away from doing so. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Catch it, see it where you can find it, y'all.
I'm gonna sit this much like.
What we got coming up here next for you on this episode's special 420 Real Rush ticket is a movie that came out 7 years ago, 2013. This joint is called We're the Millers. We're the Millers stars Jason Sudeikis as a small-time weed dealer who, after a series of unfortunate events, is more or less commissioned to go down to Mexico and bring back to the States quite the large quantity of the marijuana. Now, since he's got to cross borders to do it, if he goes down there looking the way that he actually does, looking like a fucking drug dealer at the time, there's no way he's gonna make it across the border the first time, let alone the second time come back with all the weed on him. So what does he do? He gets the stripper, played by Jennifer Aniston, and a virgin, played by Will Poulter, and a runaway rebel, played by Emma Roberts, to pose as his family so that way they can travel to and back in a big-ass RV, pretty much damn near Griswold style, under the guise of being atypical, all-American, sweeter than apple pie American family, y'all. This movie's funny as fuck. I just watched this for the first time last night. Watched it with a clear head too. Now that goes to say something right there. This movie is definitely very 420 friendly. Watch it with a clear head. Of course, if it was a little foggy, it probably would have been just as funny, if not funnier. Yet I digress, even though I'm not digressing anything there. Yeah, whatever. Shut up, J-Dub. Keep going, J-Dub. Alright, anywho. How I missed this shit when it originally came out, I don't know. I honestly don't even remember this dropping in theater. And I'm speaking 100% truth here, y'all. Maybe because 2013 was a weird time. I was starting a new position at my job or whatnot and all types of shit. But I don't know. I checked the date of the release on this, and this dropped August of 2013. So I'm trying to think back at that time. Yeah, I had been a couple weeks deep into a new position, and because of the new position, it didn't give me quite the scheduling freedom as my prior position had. So I was more than likely, now that I recollect, looking forward to my weekends of coming home, blazing the fuck up, and playing some WWE 13 all weekend. Hence, I wasn't hitting the theaters as hardcore as I am these days, or hitting the movies as hardcore as I am these days, I should say. So yeah, more than likely, I was high. Yet I digress, y'all. Like I stated, this movie funny as hell. I watched the extended edition, and that's like I said, the first time watching it, I noticed that the extended edition has its own set of ending credits following the original ending credits. So this edition is actually 9 minutes longer than the theatrical edition. I don't know if it makes it any better or not, because I haven't seen the theatrical edition. But if you've only seen the regular, either theatrical, or I'm guessing that they only play the theatrical edition on like Cinemax or even on regular TV, then definitely give the extended cut a look if you can find it. I'm not sure if you can find something like that on the likes of Netflix or Amazon Prime. You might have to do that strictly via Blu-ray. Will Poulter is hands down the winner of this movie, y'all. This character, what's his name in here? Kenny is goofy as all hell, which is a definite early departure from his later, way more serious and at times way more douchebaggy roles that we've gotten in recent years. Remember his ass in Detroit? The defense rests, or I rest my case, whatever, y'all. But yeah, old Poulter there, Mr. Poulter, he won best breakout performance at the 2014 MTV Movie Awards for his role in this, and you can clearly see it, especially if you've been following his career up to this point but haven't, like your boy, seen this movie until recently. Put this on your list. It doesn't necessarily have to be on your 420 list, but it will make your 420 laughs all the better. That much I can guarantee. The extended cut, like I've been saying all this episode, find it where you can. I don't know if you can find this on any type of streaming services. You might have to go the Blu-ray route, but definitely go the extended cut all the way. I don't know what you're going to be missing. There's that much. I know one thing, just because of what I picked up on the ending credits from the extended cut, but I don't want to give anything away there. So, do yourself a favor, catch the extended cut, see the fullness first, and that way, theatrical version, watch that later on. You're probably not necessarily missing anything. But we're the Millers. Definitely give it a check, y'all, and have some laughs. Moving right along to what's next on this episode's Real Rush Ticket. Which one do I want to go with? We're going to go with one of my not only all-time faves, but a definite all-time 420 fave of mine. I would probably put this in my top 5 of smokable, tokable, funniest fuck movies. And I'm talking about How High, so high that I can reach the sky, so high that I can touch the sky, up to the sky. How High, y'all. This stars my boys, Method Man and Redman, the two dudes, Silas and Jamal, who end up getting into Harvard after smoking the ashes of the recently deceased yet incredibly smart friend Ivy, and in turn that gets them to score high on their THCs, which is much like the SATs, but it's the THCs for this movie's purposes. And hence, that ends up getting them into Harvard. And of course, Harvard is not ready for the likes of Silas and Jamal here. And of course, hilarity ensues. Matter of fact, when I was writing my review for this, I laughed just writing that. The fact, just recollecting on this movie, the fact that the fucking tests in this movie are called the THCs instead of the SATs or the ACTs or anything like that. So that speaks for itself right there. I didn't even have to rewatch this movie to refresh myself over the last couple days, not only for the sake of this telecast, but just for my own enjoyment. I've already seen this movie 1.5 million times. I've seen it so many damn times that I think it might be stuck on permanently fresh in my gray matter, in my brain, y'all. This had, not only is it all out hilarious, saw what I did there, but here goes another personal experience for y'all. This was very influential on my fraternity as well as my college days. Me and a couple of my pledge brothers and one of my soon-to-be and one of the fraternity brothers at the time, we all went to go see this movie as our college was holding an advanced screening of the shit. So what do? Like any fucking normal college kid or anybody who was gonna go see this movie at that time, we got ourselves hold of some edibles, since we knew we couldn't be smoking up in the fucking campus theater, let alone any theater. So we got the edibles because we knew that we were gonna have to stand in line. It was first come, first serve for seating for this movie, so we wanted to get there nice and early. So we sitting there eating on our shit or waiting in line, and then before we even got, at least for me, before we even got to the movie, them motherfuckers kicked in, and that was one of the strongest edibles I've ever eaten in my fucking life, y'all, because that shit lasted through the movie to infinity and beyond. There was even a Q&A session with Method Man and Redman after the movie, and we were all hyped for it because we thought that Method Man and Redman were actually going to be there, but it turned out that they were doing the shit via satellite, and they were only going to ask 3 questions for the entirety of the Q&A, albeit, now remind you that this was playing in multiple campuses across multiple states nationwide at the same time. So we were like, what the fuck? But that didn't completely blow the trip, y'all. I will also say this. This gave me the mentality, just like Redman says as his character Jamal in the movie, that he figures that if he studies high and takes the test high, he'll get high scores, right? Right? Well, I tried that shit while I was in college, and that fucking idea does not work at all. I do not recommend going that route. Hence why I didn't exactly graduate there yet. I digressed, y'all. Anywho, once again, yeah, I digress. You know, letting y'all into some of my personal experiences there. This remains still one of my favorite all-time movies. Like I said, not just for 420, but year-round. It has quite an Animal House vibe to it. So if you're a fan of Animal House, I think you're going to love this movie as well. Obviously, this is the original DVD that came out almost 20 years ago. Check your streaming services. I don't even know if there's a Blu-ray release for this joint. Find it where you can. Enjoy. And especially if you can find it for Monday, y'all. And last but most certainly not least on this episode's Real Rush tickets, another one of my personal all-time 420-ish favorites. This joint is called Pineapple Express. I can't sing like Huey Lewis, but I sing it anyway. Pineapple Express. Ooh. And this is a nice Blu-ray that I found at Best Buy some time ago. The finish on it is very, very nice. Anywho, Pineapple Express stars Seth Rogen as process server Dale Denton, who after witnessing a murder by the hands of a fucking crazy ass drug lord played by Gary Cole and his cop counterpart played by Rosie Perez, well, Dale ends up going on the run from them with his drug dealer turned best friend Saul Silver played by James Franco, who ended up getting nominated for a Golden Globe for his role in this movie. And I remember when he got nominated, the fucking movie snobs came out of the fucking woodwork on social media like, oh my god, I can't believe that they gave James Franco a fucking nomination for acting his role in Pineapple Express. Like, that is such a waste. Shut up, bitch. You don't know what the fuck you talking about, yo. Yeah, I just said that straight there, being 100% fucking REEL and REAL with your ass right there, because I think that the man pulled off the stoner, the concept, the 100% stoner like any other, man. Like, there's been plenty of stoners in movies over many, many years, but James Franco just happened to play this shit to a T. I remember watching this back in 2009 for the first time. And yeah, got this from the Red Box, had myself a grand old time. However, now this is the part that I don't remember. This movie, be it all out hilarious, this movie, or this Blu-ray right here, is the extended edition. Now, I can't remember if I saw the extended edition my first time or not, but there were definitely some things in this movie when I rewatched this the other night to refresh myself on it, you know, just to see if I had seen the extended edition. And there were some things in the extended edition that I don't remember seeing. Now, there's a great chance that I did watch the extended edition that first night and just smoked it out of my brain completely. But I do remember laughing my ass off the first time I saw it, the second time I saw it, the 57th time I saw it, and whatever number time that this was when I watched this just the other night after I watched Inherent Vice for the third time, y'all. So that speaks leaps and bounds. Much like any other movie. Like, if it can survive a couple of not only repeated viewings but under the same substance, but if it could survive so many repeated viewings and watching it with a clear mind and still be just as funny as the first time I saw it. And normally I don't like watching movies like this on repeat because I feel like if I watch a comedy like that too many times, then the certain jokes won't hit as hard as they did. Like, it's kind of like the first time, like, you know, you take a hit of a joint or of a cigarette. You never achieve, like, that first, like, feel-good, whoo, flying feeling quite ever again. I'm always afraid of that when it comes to comedy movies. This definitely is a, what's the term that they usually, yeah. Fuck it. This disproves that theory. Alright? This stands out from any other movie that I try not to watch under those terms. Anywho, yet I digress. There were some noticeable differences in the extended edition than that of the theatrical version. I noticed that it's a little bit more improv driven. Now, albeit the different parts that were added to the extended edition are still funny as hell, I can totally understand why they were removed from the theatrical version, as they don't quite fit the flow of the movie. So, having knowingly seen both versions of the movie, of course, I'm going to recommend seeing the extended version first and then watching the theatrical version afterwards, you know, for that repeat factor. And that's if you haven't seen this before. But either way, you will be quite highly entertained and enjoyed by this movie right here if you have not seen it, y'all. Pineapple Express. Find it, streaming. It's good. Any number of these movies that I have reviewed on this episode have got to be playing on some type of cable network. Any of these movies, however, matter of fact, every single movie that I reviewed here is rated R for all types of various shit. So if you can find it playing on a premium cable channel, and that's if you can't find it on some type of streaming service, which is fucking crazy because Amazon Prime's got everything for a rental fee, albeit you will have to pay some type of fee, but every single movie that we have reviewed here has got to be found in some way, shape, or form for your viewing pleasure this coming 420 holiday on Monday here, y'all. And that being said, that is a wrap for episode 82, this year's 420 epic spectacular fucking special of The Real Rush right here on YouTube as always. Oh, excuse me, before we get to that, next weekend on episode 83, we're going to be wrapping up our month-long 420 extravaganza with a few more 420 reviews, and who knows what else I have ready for you, because most of the other 420 reviews that I have are movies that I've already seen. So unless there are any suggestions that anybody would like to throw out, I'm not sure what next week's new movie or new movies of the weekend are going to be. So definitely stay tuned for episode 83 coming at y'all next weekend. But until then, as always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, any shit like that, feel free to type those on into the comment box on the YouTube page where you are viewing this week's episode right here, right now. To everybody who has subscribed to The Real Rush right here on YouTube, thank you for having done so. If you haven't done so, what the hell are you waiting for? You want to be the first to know when your boy drops a new episode. And to everybody who has subscribed, don't be afraid to share the word of The Real Rush. Spread the word of The Real Rush, like everybody should still be spreading love these days, even though we can't be physically hugging up on people. So whenever you're doing your virtual happy hours or whatever, let them know. If somebody happens to bring up, I wonder what I want to watch tonight, let them know. Hell, well, I know this dude J-Dub reviews all types of shit. Why don't you give his channel, The Real Rush, a view and pick any episode, and your boy does not steer you wrong. Seriously, pick any episode, any of the 82 episodes that are now up on YouTube. And speaking of which, not only does The Real Rush have replay value for any of the theatrical releases, but now that we're foraying into movies that extend beyond 2018, fall 2018, when we start reviewing theatrical movies, now that we can't go to the theater and we're reviewing movies of any year, of any genre, of any time, that means the sky and beyond is the limit for The Real Rush. So any movie that you want to know what your boy thought of and get a good honest-to-God review on, all you got to do is go up to the YouTube search bar at the top of the page here, type in quotation marks, The Real Rush, followed by, outside of quotation marks, the title of the movie that you're looking for, and then boom! Instant movie review on demand for you, because your boy J-Dub and The Real Rush got y'all covered for life, son! And as always, you can follow your boy on Instagram for my live movie check-ins and updates as they occur. I will be keeping y'all up to date on when theaters start reopening and further movie cancellations, delays, shit like that. Hopefully no further of those, but we're going to be definitely looking forward to some theater reopenings. Your boy will be keeping you in the loop for that. So, as always, you can follow your boy on Instagram at JDubChampion, hashtag The Real Rush. And for The Real Rush, ladies and gents, I am your boy J-Dub. Thank you for joining us for episode 82 of fucking 420 epic, spectacular, magnanimous special right here on YouTube. And remember, chill out during these times, y'all. And spend some time with your loved ones and whatnot. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Hope this episode found everybody in that very manner. And if you ain't, then hopefully this episode finds you on your road to recovery. Enjoy yourselves out there, ladies and gents. Enjoy the 420 holiday, ladies and gents. Have fun, y'all. Love J-Dub. And we'll see you next weekend!